lot of
Yeah,
titles.
Yeah, I saw you were
for their
streaming.
own-
I can't
yeah.
remember which game. Was it Evangelion game you were streaming?
Oh yeah, ever. I play the first PlayStation ever game for PlayStation.
Right,
It was
right.
simulation game. So you think like you choose a certain answer and that's gonna change the ending.
Yeah.
But actually, until the very end,
Nothing does.
it's always the same. Until the very end, the final question gonna let you choose 3 paths, like 3 endings.
Right.
But you have to
Right,
keep nothing.
But
always
everything
the
else
same.
So it's
before that makes
basically
no sense.
it was basically just Mass Effect then.
No.
Your choices mean nothing.
And you know what? You can't even skip any stories. You have to rewatch it again and again.
That is
Oh,
like
God.
Connor's worst nightmare.
That's my hell. I love the old Neo Geo games, like Metal Slug is like my
Right.
favorite series. I fucking love Metal Slug.
I recently just did a video where I went and played a bunch of like Japan-only retro games, like anime retro
Yeah.
games. There was because there's like a number of like JoJo games as well, like
Yeah.
on, Super Famicom and like
Yeah, and the Yu Yu
Akira
Hakusho game was
and the Yu Yu
very
Hakusho game. Dude, that Yu Yu Hakusho game is so
popular. Yeah, I know.
fun.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool games that are released in Japan and never come to anywhere else in the world. Or sometimes they come in strange orders and they change the names. All the Final Fantasy series is just a whole mess.
But I didn't realize that it's a really popular game in Japan. But
Oh,
no one in
right.
the West knows about it because they only localized it. Well, they only released it in Japan, and for some reason, Brazil.
Oh,
But
okay.
only
Oh.
Brazil. Like the US
What?
didn't get it, Europe didn't get it, Australia didn't get it. It was only Brazil that got it.
But there are maybe a lot of like Japanese Brazilians at the time.
Oh yeah, there is a. I
Yeah.
found this out today actually.
Because the professional wrestler, like legendary professional wrestler Antonio Inoki.
Oh,
was
yeah,
from
that makes
Brazil.
sense.
That's right.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
Brazil,
yeah.
yeah, that's right.
I think, don't quote me on that, but I think that Brazil is the country where there are more Japanese people outside Japan in the world.
Apparently, there is a huge population of Japanese in Brazil.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't remember the reason why, but
Well, anime is like pretty big in Brazil, so I've heard.
right,
I mean, way bigger than it was, where we grew up. But it just amazes me how many anime games there are that have just existed that will just never get translated.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, even some big ones still have not been translated.
Right, because
Yeah, and some we just are just translated by fans, right? Which could be legally wrong, but I don't think it's morally wrong because you just don't have any other option, right? You can either translate it or learn a new language just to play the game.
the Sailor Moon RPG one, they just got fan sub like a few years ago.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
Yeah,
after
yeah.
all those years.
The original Fate Stay Night visual novel has
Yeah.
still not been officially translated.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. So
believe
if
that.
anyone who's played the original Fate Stay Night visual novel, it's all fan translations right now.
Damn.
Whoa.
And
I had
Fate
no
fans
idea.
expect people to get people into it by reading the visual novel.
Yeah, because I know it was like really massive.
Can you imagine? There's a legion of fans, and they all have read and used the fan-made one, just because there isn't another one available.
News. I think it was like 3 years ago when they decided to make an official like English translation of the Clannad visual novel, and they made like a Kickstarter for it and everything, and it got finished in like less than 24 hours, even though it's such an old game. And it wasn't at that point I realized I'm like, oh shit, there's never been an official translation of this game. It's all fan subs. And in my head, I'm just like, who is doing these fan subs? It's like, who has
Right.
so much time that
like you
True.
can
and
talent
talent,
so many.
Yeah.
things.
and
People who just love the franchise.
talent that you're like, you know what? There's this visual novel that's all dialogue.
And usually I think that there is a group of people, right? I mean, not 30 people, I assume, but more than one.
200 plus hours long. It's probably like, if you put into a script, it's like, 300, 400 pages.
Yeah.
I'm a translator. It's like, how do you find yourself in that position?
Weebs weaponized, man. Incredible.
Weebs are so passionate.
They are.
No, they are.
Like, was it Secret of Mana that never got an official?
The first one, yeah. Yeah.
Final Fantasy never got released, even though it was a huge series
Yeah.
until very recently.
Yeah, until very recently.
Which is
yeah.
crazy to think a game series like Final Fantasy that was killing it in the West as well. Like just one of them just wasn't released.
Yeah, yeah.
That's crazy.
It's really weird.
I have a lot of like, Macross fanatic friends in California,
Macross, yeah.
especially.
Right.
But I think the only official one was Robotech, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
The other one,
I
like you
think
have
so.
to look for them,
Yeah.
like unofficially.
It's hard being a weeb, man. It's hard. It's hard.
Especially a retro weeb, because now like Macross or Macross, sorry, is like it's not got as big of a fan base as it used to, because now Mecha has just kind of like almost died in the Western fandom. It's only the very dedicated fans that still keep up with everything like
Right.
that.
And if there is mecha, then it's usually combined with some other genre that is more appealing, right?
Yeah.
It's like it's not usually like mecha is the main. It's like
Yeah.
here is the main, and we just add a little bit of mecha to it.
Right.
I think like the last big mecha was probably Darling in the Franxx, and I'm pretty
Oh,
sure
right.
more people cared about Zero Two than they cared about the mechs.
Yeah.
No one was like, "Oh, Darling in the Franxx, those mechas are cool."
And this is pretty mediocre, right? Because like the first half is okay, but the second half and the ending are just really, really not good.
It was more like Darling in the Franxx.
It was about
Damn,
the
that
inside of
And then to say that this is a representative of mecha anime, it's roaring.
the mecha.
Yeah,
yeah.
you were looking inside.
it's like, damn,
Right.
that booty thick.
Yeah.
That's all they cared about, right?
we missed out on so many good porn parodies, Japan, because your dumb laws of Darling in the Franxx.
Yeah. Oh my god. I'm surprised they haven't made a Darling in the Franxx porn yet. Or in fact,
What?
so many anime series or manga series that could easily make
Right.
a porn parody, and I know it will sell. Right.
Right.
All right,
But
well,
just-
American porn producers who listen to Trash Taste, please make it happen.
Hey man, we just gave you guys like free real estate for that.
Yeah, exactly right.
Because you know people are gonna buy that shit if they make it in the West, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Macros, for example, like my friend actually organized a Macros Con, Macros convention,
Oh, wow.
1 day convention.
wow.
right?
Oh wow.
It's called Super Dimension Con. So
in-
that's like
in-
how
Is that in
how much
America?
they love. Yes,
Oh,
in
wow, okay.
California.
Oh.
This thing. So that's amazing. Like even though we didn't have an access to the official ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So and also I've noticed like there are a lot of Konosuba fans in the West because I play
Yep.
Konosuba Gacha.
It's huge. It's huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In
Yeah, also I think there is kind of something special about having to go to the trouble to get something. If it's easily available on some streaming site or streaming platform, then it loses a little bit of magic, you know? That this is rare and hard to find. And it's just like gold. It is valuable because there's less of it and because it's harder to find than other materials. So I think the same logic applies here.
every single time, at least one person, or I should say at least 10 people, asking me every single time when it's gonna be released, like
Yeah.
Yeah.
in the West, internationally. I mean,
When will it?
I know people like creators, but they said they're only making it available for Macau, Hong Kong, Taiwan within this year.
Right,
But
right,
not
right,
thinking about
right.
English translation yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's weird, right? Like they tend to really focus on Southeast Asian
Yeah.
countries.
It's because we spend the fucking
Yeah,
cash.
yeah.
What can I say?
That's what I like, because I remember I guested at a con in Singapore.
Yeah.
Right, and there were like all sorts of different booths with like all these companies with like selling new stuff, like new merch and everything.
Yeah, yeah.
And at an American con, right, it's like only the diehard fans would like
Right.
go up and like be like, give me one of everything, right?
Yeah.
Or like, give me the most expensive thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was just nuts to see so many people just being like, give me this, give me this, give me this. I'm just like, and people having like, 5-6 bags worth of stuff. And I'm just like, Jesus Christ, like how much money do you have? Because the tickets aren't cheap either.
I think
No,
it's
not at
just
all.
the culture there that they just want to collect them all and collect
Yeah.
everything. So, I mean, combining that with gacha, I mean, that's a money printing machine, man.
Yeah, right. And
True.
like it was really funny as well because I did a signing at that Singapore convention, and the first guy like came up to my table. There was like a line, and the first guy came up to my table and was like, "So how much is for a signature?" And I was like,
Whoa.
"What do you mean?" And he's like, "How much? Like we pay like a signing fee, right? Like because I want to get this signed by you. Like
They
how much
already
is it?"
pay.
And I'm just like. I've nothing. I'll just sign it for you. And they just didn't understand. Like even the staff members were like, "What? What?
Did you say it's for free?
It's like, it's for free. It's like, but is it only, is like the first one free? And then the second one I have to pay? I'm like, no, if you, I'll sign like 7 things if you want me to.
He's like, what's the catch? There must be a
It's like,
catch.
there must be a catch, right? It's like, no, just,
They like relay to the president, like, no, listen, he said he was going to do it for free. We've never had this before.
yeah, and apparently, like, I asked like the staff members afterwards, but apparently I'm the first guest at that con ever who did a free signing.
What?
And I'm just like, how willing are people to pay for things like this? I'm like, I get it if it's like, you know, a really famous like artist or a
Yeah.
cosplayer
Yeah,
where
yeah,
like
yeah.
a lot of their revenue comes from
Right.
Yeah.
con things, right? But I'm like, I already make enough money, like just doing my regular job. I don't need to take fucking $5 from someone just to get a little squiggle from me, like on a piece of paper, right? It's like, it's fine. I'll just do it for free. Because the thing is that I was already signing people's stuff before my signing.
Yeah.
Like if people just found me
Right,
and
right.
were like, hey, can you sign this?
Oh,
I'm like, yeah,
nice.
of course. Like, you know.
I don't think my squiggle's worth that much, man.
Yeah, it's like, no, it's not worth that much. I came up with this signature in like 2 seconds. Like it's like,
Yeah.
I don't,
That's
it's not that
No,
valuable.
yours is like semi-decent. Mine's barely legible. I just write C. Like something, I don't want to think of something.
Yeah.
Mine's like a child squiggles, man.
Oh, the 3 of the guys are wearing Evangelion shirts.
It's just that way.
Asuka,
Yeah, but yeah,
Shinji, and then just black Evangelion.
it's just nuts how like Southeast Asian weebs are
Yeah.
just they're all fucking rich.
Yeah.
Like, for
They're
some
ready to
reason.
spend.
Stop spending money so that game companies care about us English speakers.
Or maybe Western people have to spend more.
Well, that's
Yeah.
not gonna
But the thing
happen.
is, I don't
Oh, Shikigami. It's from Neo. It's from the
I
movies.
don't think they're rich. I just think that this is what they spend all
Shikigami.
their like disposable
there is a
income
larger
on.
population as well.
Yeah, yeah,
There's
yeah.
a larger audience for it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I mean, not unfortunately, I mean, it's great for the game companies.
Hey,
but-
so Western weebs, if you want your game to be localized, you better start spending some money. Go grab your mum's credit card and punch those numbers
rise
in.
up, gamers. we need to unleash
Rise
our
and
wallets.
grind, gamers.
Yeah, because there's like so many gacha games here that would just never get translated. There's like
Right.
3 JoJo gacha games or something
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
They're pretty awful.
Never been translated?
No.
No, no,
What?
no. That
Even
just in
JoJo?
Japanese.
Yeah, even
Just because the
JoJo.
West, like, just gacha games in general in the West are like, I think it's like only really like a recent thing
Yeah.
that it's like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, cool, I can spend money on these,
Right.
but
It's a new thing because the whole image of mobile games in the West was
Terrible.
like very
It's
terrible.
terrible.
You know, everyone thinks of like this, you know, cheap knockoff games or like Raid Shadow Legends.
it's like Angry Birds, you know,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Candy Crush, and it's like,
Yeah.
I'm not spending $2 to get an extra life on Candy Crush. I'm sorry, I'm not that desperate.
Yeah, the for a very long time, all mobile games were pretty like predatory, I'd say.
Yeah, yeah.
And how they try to make you spend money.
Right.
So I think there is that kind of notion of mobile game equals you're trying to scam me.
Yeah,
So maybe
yeah.
there is a lot of that, but hopefully it'll change in future, and we'll
Hopefully.
finally get that connoisseur localization.
Yes.
Yeah, because
I-
that game looks fun.
looks
Yeah,
so good.
yeah,
I
it
watched you
does.
stream it.
Yeah. I enjoy Konosuba Dojin a lot too. I don't usually go for Dojin like I don't really go for
Women of the culture
like,
here.
Dojin adaptation. I always go for just
Wait,
ecchi
who's-
original stories.
Who's the
You know what?
favorite? In
Wait,
My
who's your one?
favorite
Yeah,
who's
has
your-
always been Megumi, but Dojin wise,
Darkness.
Aqua is
Exproja.
actually very useful. Aqua is actually very useful. I mean, she's been called useless, right?
Yeah,
she's
yeah.
useless goddess. But
The
she's
only time
very
she's useful is in porn.
because I'm just gonna make it simple. I mean, she can purify any liquid. So
Look at Connor's face. Look at him. He's worried about what's happening.
any happenings happens, you know, she can just purify it.
It's like,
It
you're like,
won't be a
damn, I wish I
problem.
had that when I was doing it. Fuck. None of this banana drink shit.
None of this gluten-free cum on my.
Only the purest of jizz
I'm
for me.
I'm a darkness man. I love
Yeah.
darkness. Yeah.
Love darkness.
Yeah, I love
I'm a
darkness.
Megumin person, man.
I
Like,
know you
Megumin.
are. You're like 10. I'll take that.
Yeah. I'm Megumin too.
Beatrice.
No.
Basically. 10.
age is just a number.
That's what
Here we fucking go. Here we fucking go.
Like what people say on the stand as they're being convicted. So, come on, man.
I didn't know.
The UN is coming for you, son.
I can see just that one clip being gift and just
Yeah,
like being
yeah.
spread
You're
around
fucked.
now.
Hi, Chris Hansen. So, as is tradition with Trash Taste episodes that have guests, we're going to get you to sign a shikishi
Yay!
so that we can may put it up on this wall right here. We say that,
Eventually,
but
yeah.
Chris's
Eventually.
one is like still down here.
Chris
So,
didn't do a good job. He didn't.
No,
This is his right here.
I love you guys, especially Jerry.
Where's Jerry?
Now that's a signature. Now that's a signature.
That's a signature right there. Look at that squiggle. God damn.
But yeah, thank you very much for coming on. It's
No,
been a
thank
pleasure to have you as a guest.
In the meantime, here are all the lovely patrons who are here supporting the Trash Taste channel. We definitely know that this episode is going to be demonetized as fuck. So
Look at these guys.
No
Thank you very
ads,
much.
no
Yeah.
ads.
yeah, no ads on this one.
I'd like to know if it was really demonetized.
So if you like to support the show and hopefully get some more cool guests onto this show, then definitely, support our Patreon. And
You're like, fuck, I don't know what to say.
yeah, I'm like, please support Patreon. Yeah.
You ever just start a sentence and you don't know where it's gonna lead, but you just have to keep talking
Yeah,
anyway.
yeah. I'm just like, I gotta end it.
That's the news.
That's the one. Do you want to like shout anything out?
No, please follow me on social media, Twitter, Instagram, also on Twitch. It's very new. My YouTube channel isn't my personal channel. I'm just hired to be on the channel, so I have nothing to do with editing. So stop telling me to put English subtitles.
Come on,
I can do that. I
You're
can
an
do that.
English teacher, right? You can put English subtitles.
I'm too busy with other things.
We'll leave all of those down in the
Yeah.
description
Yes.
below, so definitely go check it out. And yeah,
Thank you so much for joining
Thank
us.
you so
thank you.
much. for
Hope you had a good time
having me.
here.
yeah.
Likewise.
All right.
But yeah, anyway, that's been Trash Taste Podcast. I've been here with the boys and the girl. Once it's nice to not have to be in a sausage fresh of a podcast for once. And yeah, we will see you guys later.
Bye.
Are we saying that now? See you later.
See you later. See you later.
See you
Mas
later.
acho que é.